Good evening, beautiful soul family and beautiful dreamers, new watchers, subscribers. I am Zena. Hi. I am Zena, and this is my Turquoise Dreams Readings channel. And I just want to welcome everybody who's here for the first time, here for like their 7th time, 20th time, whatever the case may be. I want you guys to realize that this is a timeless reading. And today's topic is, why do I feel so blah? And the reason why I'm doing this particular question is because Mercury retrograde tends to kick our asses. Well, I know it kicks my ass. And before we get to that energy, to that point in time, on October 31st, I just wanted to do a reading in case you start feeling those negative feelings and basically know where they're coming from. So I have a collective message here first, and then I'll let you guys pick your cards. So this is pile 1, this is pile 2, and this is pile 3. So I'm going to move those over for right now. And this is your collective message. So this applies to all 3 groups. So if you want to watch this, wonderful. If you don't want to watch it, perfectly fine too. If you want to skip straight ahead to your pile, you're more than welcome to. So the key words Spirit is wanting you to take note of and be mindful of is persuasion. First one is persuasion. Persuasion says it's all about how you see this situation. If you are looking for negatives, you will find them because there are many, but try concentrating on the positives. There are plenty of them too. So basically, Mercury retrograde, why am I feeling so blah? As a collective, you're going to notice that people are going to try and persuade you to get out of the house, to get out of your ruts, to get out of, this negative space that Mercury retrograde tends to put us in, right? It tends to make us go back and think about our past, having us repeat negative patterns to possibly heal them, if you're cognizant and aware of your healing journey. But if you're not, you're repeating negative stuff and you don't even realize you're being persuaded to do that. So Spirit is also giving me a message of being mindful of people who are persuading you to go back into a negative pattern. That's usually a common symptom of Mercury retrograde. These negative entities are able to open portals and connect to people's energies and be able to persuade them to do negative things. So another thing Spirit is wanting you to do is not focus on negative things that people may say to you or say about you. You may hear negative messages from people, or see negative things, coming up during this time. And Spirit is basically telling you not to be persuaded by those things, okay? The next card is Joy. So Joy says, lighten up. Find that hidden inner child and have a play date. Laugh, be silly, dance, and sing. It's time to have fun again. So despite everything that is currently, happening in your life, or, will be taking place during the Mercury retrograde, Spirit is wanting to give you a reminder of stay joyful. This kind of ties back into the persuasion card. Do not be persuaded into becoming negative. Do not be persuaded by other people's negative attitudes, their words, or their actions, okay? Try and stay with a mindset filled with joy. Fill your time with beautiful things, be it family, friends, pets, any loved one you possibly can. And some of this stuff as well, because they just pointed me back to the inner child part of the card, the word inner child. So some of you will be going through Mercury retrograde thinking about a traumatic event in your childhood or traumatic events in your childhood. And the Mercury retrograde, Spirit is saying, if those memories or those emotions come up, they're coming up to be healed, to be released, to be forgiven and released. Okay, so if you find yourself being pulled into memories of your past, especially in concerns to how your parents raised you, whatever you experienced in your childhood, even into your adulthood, Spirit is also saying, on another note, with the inner child, your inner child will be a helpful guide to help you maintain your joy. So whatever made you happy, what activities made you happy in your childhood, try doing some of those to make sure that you don't get put into that blah mentality, that negative state of thinking or way of being during the Mercury retrograde. And also, just if you're feeling that right now, this, like I said, this message is timeless. It does not have a particular expiration or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. I'm not just referring to only retrograde season. I'm also referring to just life in general whenever you're feeling blah. You have preservation. Preservation. It says, reevaluate this battle you are engaged in. A hasty retreat may be in order. Self-preservation may be the only thing salvageable. So some of you during Mercury retrograde, not trying to be a negative Nancy here, but some of you will find yourselves within this Mercury retrograde season, or this pre-shadow part of Mercury retrograde, where you're having to step away from toxic friendships and relationships with people and certain situations. Like, it could be a job that's been draining you for the last 4 or 5 months and you didn't have the courage to move beyond it, or break ties with it. I'm also seeing that some of you are going to be seduced into wanting to stay isolated and stay at home. Some of you may be tempted to stay at home, but Spirit is basically saying, don't isolate yourself too much during this time period. Don't isolate yourself too much, because when you isolate yourself during Mercury retrograde, you're literally making yourself more vulnerable to attack by any negative energies that may be trying to put negative thoughts in your mind. I also noticed, like, suicides are more prevalent during Mercury retrograde. So be mindful, not to have an idle mind or be in a place of just allowing negative thoughts to hold space there and build up and build up and build up and build up, and you do something that you regret, or you allow somebody else to do something that they regret. Also, Mercury retrograde, the reason why you feel blah, as a collective, could also be that you're constantly fighting a battle that is ultimately not yours. It's Spirit's battle, and you keep putting yourself and throwing yourself into these situations where you really don't have to feed into that. Like, you don't have to continue to fight a battle. A person cannot fight with themselves. Well, they can, but if their goal is to fight with you, you don't have to honor that energy. You can step away from it and walk away from it. And Spirit is also telling you, some of you may need to think in regards to, okay, is this something where I'm gonna have to step away from this, because the person that I'm fighting against is having it's futile. It's futile. I can't get this person to understand my point of view, and it's just not useful for me. So Mercury retrograde you will also find will cut friends away from you that you didn't think would leave, or you're cutting them away. So, and if that's happening, it's out of preservation. You're preserving your energy and your time for more useful things, and that's kind of where you're supposed to be headed anyway when it comes to the winter equinox arriving upon us. We're already in fall, so winter is coming sooner than later. Like, it's coming so quick, guys. Like, this, I don't know where 2019 went, but a message directly from Spirit: engage higher reasoning. Engage higher reasoning. So this goes back to preservation. The preservation card. if you can't engage higher reasoning with these people, if you can't engage, positive things or conversations or productive things with working with people, then you basically don't need to, like, just cut it. So unless you can engage higher reason out of a situation, it's probably not a situation that's meant to serve you, and it's run its course pretty much. Also, with engaging higher reason could also be another name you could call, spirit, great spirit, or, this high intelligence that watches over us. Okay, so you could also be asked by spirit to pray and, meditate more during this time period, because some of us, we get so busy in life, and we get so swamped with, our families, with our friends, with work, and, with our personal self growth to the point to where we forget the critical thing that we need the most is to always engage higher reason, is to engage with spirit on the daily, because we can't run or power ourselves without spirit, because we are of spirit. And when we're not completely connected, we end up losing, that strength, that fire, that fight within us. Spirit is also wanting you to imagine solutions. So the reason why some of you feel blah as a collective is because some of you are in a situation where you can't even figure out the answer to the problem. You can't even figure out the answer to the problem, and it's causing you to be in a place where you're like, you know what, fuck it, like, damn it, I can't think of a way to answer this issue or to deal with this issue. Like, I'm completely, out of it. Well, that's where you engage higher reasoning. Higher reason. You need to ask spirit to come in and be like, hey, help me find a solution to my problem or problems. Because Mercury retrograde has its own little cute problems in and of itself, where you have to deal with your electronics going out, and phones and cars going crazy and bonkers. So, and people wanting to run into you, in accidents. So this is one of those periods where it is very important to protect your energy, protect your mind, your soul, and just your energy, just you as a whole, and anything else that you deem valuable, because Mercury retrograde always comes with its own technological and emotional and mental situations specifically designed to help you move beyond the problem. So the next thing, rejuvenate. This basically ties into the joy card here. When you are filled with joy is a rejuvenating emotion to me. And I say joy is rejuvenating because you feel number one, you're honoring your inner child. Number two, you are honoring yourself. It's a part of self-care. It's a great form of self-care and loving yourself when you do things that rejuvenate you. Just because it's Mercury retrograde, it does not mean you have to completely shut yourself off and go into this dour, sour, downer, sour, attitude. You can find things that rejuvenate you, whether it's putting a cucumber mask on your face, or doing, a pedi spa for yourself, at home, or taking a nice hot Himalayan salt bath or Epsom salt bath. Okay, putting certain essential oils in the diffuser. There are different ways to rejuvenate yourself, and whatever that is for you, spirit is wanting to remind you, through this season, whenever you feel blah or whatever, just remember to do things that bring you joy, that rejuvenate you, that give you a peace of mind to where you can function at a high vibration. So remember how I was saying stay connected to spirit, especially in this time. You got to stay connected as a collective. We got to stay connected. It says we are all born connected to spirit. Often known as the divine source, yet many of us have a tendency to pull away from that connection as we journey through life in the physical world. Now is an important time to reconnect to the source. So if some of you are out of touch with spirit, this is spirit basically being like, hey, I'm right here. You're just within finger's reach of grabbing my hand again. You're just within finger's reach of honing into my energy again. Just go ahead and make the jump and grab my hand. I'm right here. So stay connected to your friends, stay connected to your family, stay connected to people who, nourish you and pour into you just as much as you pour into them. Do not spend time around toxic people or negative people that don't have anything positive to offer you at this time. If you feel like a friendship or a relationship or a situation is dying, let the toxic ones go. Let the toxic relationships go. Let the toxic situations go. But if you feel like you're disconnected from a good friendship or a good relationship or a good situation, Spirit is saying it's time to reconnect and stay connected. Stay connected. Don't separate. Don't sever ties with certain people. But there are others that Spirit will let you know, like, hey, it's time to let that person go. You guys have taught each other what you needed to teach, and it's time to move forward with your life. So that's what I'm getting with stay connected, guys. Next one we have is Angel Ariel from the messages from your angels during Virtue deck. So we have Ariel. New psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way you view the world and yourself. Allow your spiritual gifts to open through study, prayer, and meditation. Being that the Mercury retrograde starts on Halloween, it begins on Halloween. Halloween, or Samhain, known to pagans, is a time where spirits can truly connect in the physical and they can walk the physical plane because the veil between the living and the dead is very much so thin. It's almost non-existent on that particular day. So basically, some of you who are gifted at this are going to see, these spirits. You're going to be able to feel them, you're going to be able to hear them, and Ariel is basically saying, hey, don't freak out. What you're seeing is truly what you're seeing, and you're hearing what you're truly hearing. Some of you are going to get a spiritual reawakening, a spiritual awakening if you've been asleep this entire time spiritually. And you're going to be you're going to become aware of some of your spiritual gifts that you've been hiding. For some of you, I'm hearing very strongly mediumship. Could be a very strong possibility that you're going to get. Then you also have, some of you are going to be able to hear. So like it's going to sound just like how you're hearing my voice right now. Okay. So that's another thing that's coming through to me. Some of you are going to get psychic or prophetic intuition from hearing certain music, certain songs, and participating in dance, and it's going to give you like a clear supernatural feeling, like the music is. So pay attention during this time frame in this period, from the time of you watching this reading, and watch how some of your spiritual gifts begin to open up to you. And basically, Spirit is saying, don't freak out if you see somebody that nobody else can see, or hear somebody that nobody else can see. What you're seeing is real. I'm allowing you to see it. So don't freak out. The next one you have is the lovely Astara. Okay. Astara, you deserve the best. Reach for the stars with your dreams and desires, and don't compromise. So this Mercury retrograde, this why do you feel so blah as a collective, some of you keep telling yourselves that you don't know what your purpose is. You don't know how to bring forward what you're seeing in your mind's eye, what Spirit is giving you in your mind's eye. And the reason why you're feeling blah is because some of you don't feel like you deserve to have that happiness. Some of you feel like you don't deserve to have that perfect or ideal relationship. Some of you feel like it's not, that you can't have that perfect business or be the perfect entrepreneur or whatever it is. You can't have the perfect family or the perfect child or whatever. Stop thinking so much about what you don't have. Think about what you do have, and believe that because you desired and you felt that you deserved what you currently have, put forth that same energy of feeling deserving towards your future blessings that are coming, because you do deserve those. Spirit does not give you what you don't deserve, okay? Spirit does not give you what you don't deserve. Spirit always gives you what you do deserve, be it good or bad, because you do have that karma, cycle coming in at play. So whether it be good or bad, Spirit gives you exactly what you deserve and also what you feel you deserve. So if some of the negativity that you feel like, where did this come from? It's because on an internal level somewhere, subconscious level somewhere, your self-saboteur side is like, you deserve that. You don't deserve that nice, new what's the new Lamborghini, or you don't deserve that blue Lamborghini with the lime green, rims on it. You don't deserve that. You've always been in poverty, and that's what you deserve. That your self-saboteur could be telling the greater part of your subconscious mind that, and it's like you feeding into that is what Spirit doesn't want you to do. So anytime you hear something negative like, oh, that's a nice car, but I don't think I can have it. Oh man, that job sounds amazing. I wish I could do that. Don't get into that mindset. Know that everything that you're dreaming and desiring is coming to you. And also, they took my attention to don't compromise. Some of you are feeling blah because you keep compromising for other people. It's like you put everybody else up here and you're all the way down to the floor down here. And it's like, why put yourself in a position where you feel like you don't deserve the blessings? You don't deserve respect back. You don't deserve what you put out into the world. You don't deserve it. And I feel like whenever someone says you don't deserve something, you compromise. You're giving into that negative energy of that person's words, and you're giving them power over you. So if there's stuff you've been compromising on, guys, it's time to stop. I've had to stop compromising. Getting out of a state of compromising whenever it's all you've known is a very difficult thing. I'm not gonna say that it's easy and it's gonna happen overnight for you to stop that pattern, okay? But it's very important to try your best to move beyond compromising, because Spirit is basically saying that's part of why you feel blah, because you're not honoring your higher self or your soul, and you're not honoring the divinity within you. And Spirit said it's time out for that. Stop compromising. Stop thinking you're not deserving. Yeah, see? Third eye chakra. We're all about to get a serious upgrade. That's why all the negative crap is coming in the forefront during Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde isn't just completely bad. It's just a lot. It seems like a lot of negative things happen during that time because you have the lower vibrational people that will, bring that about. So just do your best to, focus on honing your spiritual gifts if you're already aware of them. For those of you that are not aware of them, a big one that is coming for a lot of us as a collective is either an upgrade in our third eye chakra and a building of our spiritual gifts as a result of Mercury retrograde energy helping us release what blockages were there in that particular chakra that we have. And for some of us, it's going to be an awareness of this gift of clairvoyance. Third eye chakra is all about your spiritual gifts, especially clairvoyance, which is clear seeing. So some of you are literally about to start seeing, possibly seeing things like this, on a spiritual, level. right within our world. So don't freak out if you see it. Like I said earlier, don't freak out if you see it. This is like the second time that Spirit is bringing this up. Don't think you're going crazy. Third eye chakra card says it is safe for you to see the energy of love in all of its forms, such as angels, auras, and visions. See? You guys are about, some of you are about to go under either a remodeling and makeover of your third eye chakra, or you're about to have it opened when it was once closed. So don't freak out. Just accept what you're seeing. You don't have to acknowledge it to anybody else. Just accept what you're seeing, and then do your best to calm yourself down and move on with the rest of your day. Don't freak out. And you're, another thing with the third eye chakra card, know that you are very much so protected. You're very much so protected and guarded from, anything lower vibrational attacking you. Sure enough, I will tell you, some of you will be able to see the lower vibrational energies too. So don't freak out. They're just trying to scare you, trying to feed off of fear. So don't give them any fear. Ask Archangel Michael to come in and escort them out and never allow them to return. Or your deity, whatever deity you believe in, ask them for divine protection to remove that entity out of your space. Okay? So your divine feminine aspect, your divine that inner feminine energy, that receptive higher self energy. It says Princess Charming. Princess Charming card says, I take the horse by the reins and become my own Princess Charming, taking care of my own needs. So some of you are feeling blah because you don't take care of your own needs. You're always trying to rescue other people, but you can never take the time out to rescue yourself. And sometimes rescuing yourself from yourself. I feel like some of you have all this great advice to give other people, but when it comes to giving yourself that same advice, you don't apply it. And Spirit is wanting you to begin to apply your own advice to your own life. Some of you, I feel like people get irritated because feel like you're judging them, or feel like you're antagonizing them, and like when you're just trying to help. So people that don't want your help, and don't want to accept your advice, just apply it to yourself. Apply it to yourself. Don't even freak out over them that can't take advice from anybody but love to dish it out. That's another thing too. So if you're part of the collective that likes to give advice but doesn't like to receive it, Spirit is basically telling you to stop being in that mindset, because in the same way you're pouring wisdom and advice into other people, Spirit is trying to use those same people to help you as well. When you are a spiritual leader, or if you are someone who loves to counsel people and help people, you have to understand that the teacher can learn from the student too. It's not always the student learning from the teacher. When you start getting to a mindset, I'm the teacher 24/7, that's whenever the help is actually coming from an egotistical place. It's no longer coming from a place of spirit, of a compassionate, helpful place. It begins to come from a place of judgment. So when you are judging somebody, trust me, they will give you a very strong physical reaction to that. Whereas whenever you're giving it out of compassion, the whole energy changes the dynamic of the situation. That person becomes more receptive to what you have to say, because they can feel the energy of you being compassionate towards them and really and truly trying to help them, instead of trying to spew off this know-it-all, jerkwad energy. So that's what I'm getting from this Princess Charming card. This is from the Divine Rebels Oracle. Sorry, Sacred Rebels Oracle, not Divine Rebels, by Alana Fairchild. It says, beyond the mind, the heart beats. It's a beautiful card, eh? So, beyond the mind, the heart beats. with her bones being exposed right here and her being completely blissful and at peace and calm and being at one with the universe, with spirit, with this creator source energy. During this Mercury retrograde season, and also the reason why you're feeling blah is because you're going through a spiritual upgrade. Spirit is literally taking your soul and rubbing it raw. Rubbing it raw, exposing it not just to yourself, but to your conscious self, but to the world, to see the full beauty of it. Your spiritual DNA is being rewired and you are being recoded with the universal and cosmic frequencies that are coming down to you for you to be able to help the earth. Because I'm looking at this I want to say these are robin's eggs or whatever, the blue eggs in the bird's nest. Okay, I'm not a bird expert, unfortunately, but sorry, ornithologist. Yeah, that's what the bird experts are called, ornithologist. um but these bird feathers right here, this bird's nest, I feel like spirit, universe, creator, whatever you want to call your divine source or energy, is downloading information to you. And sometimes whenever you download information as a light worker, um, what ends up happening, you're receiving so many light codes and so much download to your spiritual DNA that it can be overwhelming for the physical and emotional bodies, as it is a light language and it is a strong, beautiful, divine light language that is being downloaded to you. So what's happening is that you're going to be going through um, a massive spiritual DNA overhaul. You're going to start receiving certain ideas that you know are not your own. Like I said, some of you are getting a makeover with your gifts. Some of you are getting a awakening with your gifts, a starting point. I feel like some of you may even be triggered or targeted to stay within that 3D your ego self and Mercury retrograde, and possibly you may be going through this already. You just keep feeling like you're being challenged, and every time you get challenged, for some of you, your ego may come into play and may try to intervene and may try to, disrupt some things. Okay, so don't don't be like the earth, be like wind, because I'm seeing the wind, and the way the bird feathers are is kind of reminding me of water as well. So be in that water and wind energy. Okay, I'm not telling you to be like a hurricane, I'm telling you to be like the ocean, be flowful. Wind also flows too, the currents and the way the wind blows the water. Just be peaceful, be copacetic, like flow like a leaf in the wind when it comes to situations, this month, situations during the retrograde, because there will be things that, sorry, my leg is itchy. There will be things that will try and come to trigger you, to try and see if you've really healed or not. And if you find yourself getting triggered, put yourself back into that deep source of meditation. That deep source of meditation. She looks so at peace and relaxed, even while she's floating in space. Looks like she's letting everything just download to her and come to her. And when you're in a peaceful state of mind and state of being, it is a lot quicker and easier for you to download information. This is the Oracle of Visions deck by Ciro Marchetti, or Ciro Marchetti, however you want to say it. This card doesn't exactly, it has a name, but I don't completely remember it. I call it the Mask card. And basically the number 2 coming out at me as well is, I'm getting some of you are wearing masks in relationships, because 2 to me always means partnership. I know it's not the only meaning, but that's how I'm taking it in this card. They gave me the two, and I heard partnership. So a partnership could be two or more people involved in a situation, but I'm feeling like it's strongly like two. So I'm thinking of like, for some of you, you may be feeling like you're wearing a mask in your relationship to your significant other, and you're trying to be proud wearing that mask, or proud to morph yourself into what they want you to be, or what you think they want you to be. Because some of you, with this large grand wig, I feel like this is like you guys' brains, your minds, how you're thinking, how you want people to see you, like this grand, amazing individual, but on the inside you're very troubled. She's not even smiling, putting on this mask. She's just like getting this steely reserve and like, yes, I am one of you, I'm one of you. And really and truly on the inside, she's not. She's basically put herself in a beautiful, choker, and for some reason I'm thinking like, even though there's not a leash here, I'm getting that energy like being enslaved to a way of thinking, being enslaved to a particular person, feeling like you are trapped in a relationship. So for some of you, I feel like this is spirit saying during this Mercury retrograde season, and also, why you're feeling blah, it has to do with the fact that you feel trapped emotionally in something. You feel like the person you're with is making you unhappy, and spirit is saying you don't have to stay in that. Regardless if you and this person share children, whether you guys share a business, you can detach yourself away from this situation. You can detach yourself away from this situation without feeling like you have to sacrifice everything. Make a stand. Make a stand against being put in this mask. And don't worry or fear, a negative reproach. For all you know, this person could breathe a sigh of relief, like, oh gosh, now I don't have to wear my mask either. For some of you, your person is wearing a mask because you're wearing one. So in regards to romantic relationships, or any type of relationship where you're giving a great deal of emotion, stop wearing the mask. Take the mask off. It's okay to take the mask off. You may just be encouraging or motivating that person to take theirs off. I'm also getting with the masks, some of us wear masks at work. Our coworkers ask us, how's your life going? Or, if we have a business, or, we're trying to start a business, it's like, how's your business going? Oh, it's going great. And it could be, exploding in our face and not working out whatsoever. And that's totally not the case. You're trying to create this illusion, this identity that is not you. And it's like this energy, this negative energy, it's like it has you so wound up, like you're even wearing the crown. The bird is even, the swan is even wearing the crown that you're wearing, and it's like it's merged into one. And also, with the swan being different, I think these are egrets or ibises. I don't know. I don't know. I'm noticing the difference between the swan and these other birds down here. Let me know in the comments what bird that is. But I feel like this also is how you want to be. This is how you want to be, but you feel like you can't because you got to fit in with these birds down here. When you're a completely different bird, you're meant to do a completely different thing in nature. And I mean nature as in this world as a whole. You're meant to do something completely different. And here it is, you're trying to fit in with these guys down here and be like, yeah, this is me. And it's so not you. You're a beautiful swan to these beautiful birds down here. You don't even know, they could be swans in disguise for all you know. Be open with who you are. Take this off and be yourself. no matter what it costs. If it costs you fake friends, if it costs you fake lovers, no matter the cost, you want your ultimate freedom to be who you are. Some of you are discontent and bored in whatever it is you're doing on a collective. This is also the Four of Cups in traditional tarot. This is the Moon in traditional tarot, but in this deck, the Psychic Tarot deck by John Holland, this is shadow. And to me, it perfectly depicts the moon. There are certain things on the side of the moon that the sun cannot completely expose or show. You know, there are certain things, the moon energy, this dark, this shadow side energy is wanting to expose to you. Some of you are feeling blah because you are not, and feeling discontent and bored because you are not acknowledging your shadow. Sorry, you're not acknowledging your shadow side. You're not acknowledging it. And it's like now your shadow side, because you're ignoring it, it's tussling with your light. It's tussling with your everyday of who you are. But your shadow side is beckoning you. It's asking you to pay attention to it. That self-saboteur side as well. Like, you have to look at those. For some of you. For others of you, Spirit is wanting you to get out of this energy well before Mercury retrograde starts, because if you're still in this energy of tussling and fighting within yourself and within balancing both halves of yourself, you are pretty much inviting in negative Mercury retrograde energy. And your shadow side also relates to your subconscious as well. It's within your subconscious mind. It's going to start, Mercury retrograde will basically work with your shadow side and amplify the negative things you keep ignoring. So I suggest you guys start talking to your shadow side, acknowledging that it's there, acknowledging any wounds, pains, or hurts, or even addressing the discontentment and boredom within yourself. You know, I feel like some of you have all this beauty in front of you and you've turned your back to it, and you've pretty much just want to be in the dark. So for some of you, you know, I feel like this relates to any depression, any anxiety, anything that's happening subconsciously that you're not addressing, you know, certain memories. I also feel like this guy is like, man, if I could just see the light. And here the light is, here it is right by his head. It's practically right on the other side, but yet again, he's faced in the opposite direction to this light. He's got it behind him and he's got it on the left side of him, but he's too busy looking down and straight ahead to see either aspects of light. It's like he's perfectly poised himself to be faced towards the dark. Some of you need to address your dark to get rid of this blahness, this discontent and boredom feeling. Being discontent and bored with everyday life, everyday thinking, everyday living. Okay, I think that's all they're giving me with those. Okay, so hold on, the music stopped. I'm sorry.
One of the most challenging parts of meditation is what's sometimes called the dark side.
Sorry. Alright. I'm so sorry about that, guys. I know that must have been very awkward to sit there and listen to that. I'm gonna add that. Alright. So the next card you have, collective, is Memories of Love, which is the Six of Cups in traditional tarot. Then you have the Sun card, or in this deck, the Shine card. You have Spread Your Wings, which is the Two of Wands, and you have the Two of Swords, which is Refusing to See. So the reason why you're feeling so blah is you're refusing to see, and this also ties back into this, guys. Like that, like pretty much these are like literally, they're by the same author, John Holland, and I just feel like they just tie so well into each other, despite them being on different topics. So with Shine and Refusing to See, this is telling me you're refusing to see the light. You're refusing to see, yourself in this manner. Some of you allow your depression and anxiety to defeat you from being able to turn around and look and see the beauty you have in your life. Some of you, I feel, you're going to be coming out of this refusing to see, because Mercury retrograde will beat you until you do. Mercury retrograde will literally be like, you don't want to see the beauty? Okay, I'll go ahead and start giving you past life memories. I'll start giving you these present, memories, childhood and teenage memories, whatever stage of life you've gone past. So Mercury retrograde is also going to shine light on what you're refusing to see. I feel like you guys are going to be like, oh, I'm trying to stay in this energy, when Mercury retrograde is going to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put you in this energy. I'm gonna put you in this energy because you're not paying attention to what is hurting you on the inside, to what's hurting you so much so to the point to where you're blocking your spiritual gifts. You're blocking your third eye. Okay, some of you have been rejecting your spiritual gifts, especially if you're clairvoyant. If you've been refusing to see, you're going to get forced to see. No more hiding from your life path. No more hiding from who you are. You have memories of love here and Spread Your Wings. So some of you may be refusing to see the truth of a love situation. No matter what level it is. But some of you may have been refusing to see the ending of a relationship coming. Some of you may have been refusing to see that you were ready to leave a relationship long before you got to this point. And some of you will be dealing with partners that won't want to see, that you're ready to do this. You're ready to step away from the relationship. So some of you that have been in denial about certain things, you're not going to be able to be in denial about it much longer. Okay, that's all I have as far as like situations for the collective. So once you get past this emotional blah, collective peeps, we have the Fool. Once you get on the other side of this retrograde, you guys are going to get into this place of, I'm brave enough to jump and take the leap and step into newness and step into wholeness. And this is like going to be like a quantum jump almost, because it's happening with so much speed and agility, and the manifestation of your blessings using your spiritual magic, your spiritual gifts, and just being open. The Fool is all about openness, all about the beautiful possibilities that lie out there beyond what we think is our reach, and just floating and getting to that point. You have, for some of you, this is going to be a leap into a new relationship. A leap into a new relationship for you. Feeling pure, feeling cleansed. I always take water as the cups as cleansing, or what needs to be cleansed emotionally. And I feel like some of you are going to be in this state of emotional bliss after you go through your blah season. After you get through it. After you get through this is going to be you right here. And these are your blessings just coming down and filling your well, filling your ocean, filling your lake, whatever. Your reservoir of blessings will be awaiting on the other side of this Mercury retrograde season, beside this blah season. Then you have strength. Nothing painful that we go through, be it emotional, be it situation-wise, okay? You guys will ultimately gain strength from this situation or from these obstacles or incidents that happen within this season. Your strength. Some of you will gain beautiful and strong partners out of this situation, out of, this blah season. You're mentally stronger, you're emotionally stronger, and you're spiritually stronger. Some of you I also see with the strength card here will be going under a health overhaul. Basically, looking in the mirror one day and feeling suddenly motivated to work on your physical body, to work on your physical health. Gaining strength in that aspect as well. So that's all I have for the collective read as a whole. And we're starting group 1 at 51:30. So if you chose this lovely pal, this is your group 1. So a word that Spirit wants you to embody for this month and wants you to begin to embody to fight against your blah feeling is assuredness. It's time to challenge the situation and say this is not good enough. Stand tall and take a stand. It's time to show the world just how damn tough you are. So with assuredness coming out, some of you are going to be seeing the word assuredness, or you're going to hear it indicating to you that you are on the right path, and this is a situation that is purposely being brought to you to clear that blahness, that negative feeling you've been having on the inside, okay? I feel like this is a message from Spirit also telling you to stand up for yourself, because when you're feeling blah and you feel tired and over a situation, half of the population is the type of person or being to stand up whenever they've had enough of something. And in this assuredness card, Spirit wants you to be very assured that once you're standing up for yourself and you're giving that yourself that strength and that power from within to be like, you know what, damn it, I am not a weakling. I am strong, and I have the strength of a lion to get through this, to work through these things, okay? I also feel like, some of us have been trying to stand tall this entire time. And, Spirit saying you're feeling blah because you're tired. You're tired of having to fight. You're tired. But you keep going because you know a situation or a person is not for your highest good. So there's an assuredness that in knowing that you have the strength to walk away from this, to stand away from this. So that's what I'm getting as far as your assuredness. Pay attention to songs, pay attention to, conversations being had by you, or, as you're passing by a place, pay attention to to billboard signs, any audiobooks you're listening to, anything that involves sound of or seeing it. Sometimes you could read the word. So pay attention, like I said, pay attention to signs, pay attention to conversations, anything that has a sound frequency to it where you can hear the word assuredness, or you know, pay attention to visuals to see if assuredness will pop up. And if it has, that means that's a sign from spirit that, hey, you're going in the right direction, or that, be mindful of your surroundings. So the reason why you're feeling blah, group one, is because you don't want to admit your vulnerabilities. Then you have make a plan. You have nature. You have listen. You have Angel Layla. You have cut your cords. From the Soulful Woman, you have Infinite Self. From the Sacred Rebels, you have the Perfection of Your Life. You have from Sacred Rebels, Free from Judgment, Free to Love. You have card 51 from Oracle of Visions. I call this the allotted time message card. You have card 3 here. Card 17. And I'm just going to start off with those first. Okay. So the first thing that I was saying earlier with admit your vulnerabilities and make a plan from your Divine Energy Oracle card is that some of you are feeling blah because you're scared to admit your vulnerabilities. You're scared to admit what makes you feel nervous or afraid, makes you feel any negative emotion. The thing that Spirit is wanting me to tell you with this admit your vulnerabilities is that you do not, if you hold on to those vulnerabilities in yourself and you don't say them out loud and release them, or you don't write them down and then burn the note, the paper that you wrote them on, if you are not admitting to yourself that you have vulnerabilities, Spirit is going to allow you to be in a place where you're going to experience that during this Mercury retrograde. Okay. And also, when you don't admit the truth to yourself or to other people that you can truly trust, it's like you are basically creating blockages upon blockages and closed doors all around you. Okay, so that's why you're feeling blah. You're not admitting the truth to yourself. You're not admitting certain things to yourself that's, holding you back or making you afraid, okay? With the other of you that are feeling blah, in regards to the make a plan card, you are essentially hold on, they're downloading it to me. Some of you are overthinkers and overplanners. Some of you feel so blah because you are never giving your head a break. You're always constantly thinking of this or that. You're never just in a state of mindfulness and just being open. Some of you create problems that don't even exist in this 3D reality. Like, some of you think so far ahead and make plans so far ahead that it is hard. You guys have pretty much made it hard for Spirit to bless you with anything. that you've been looking for, that you haven't been receiving, as a result of your feeling blah. But Spirit is basically saying you're feeling blah because you keep, or sorry, the third of you in this group one collective, you are not, you make plans, and when the plans don't work out, you get annoyed, you get irritated. Well, maybe you weren't supposed to make a plan. Maybe Spirit wanted, to take you, step by step, without you make creating your human made plans, that had nothing to do with your soul's journey, had nothing to do with what you needed to do on this path. Okay, so stop creating this, I gotta do everything myself. I have to do everything myself, so I need to plan, 9 to 10 years ahead. I don't even know if I'm gonna be alive at that point, but I'm just gonna go ahead and create a 10-year plan, because I anticipate being here. And Spirit's like, you're not even gonna be here the next day after you writing that. So it's that type of energy that Spirit doesn't want you embodying. You're overthinking. You're making plans too far ahead in the future, and you don't even know what greater blessing Spirit has for you. Sometimes we think too much in regards to the blessings we feel we deserve and the blessings that Spirit truly wants to give us. So some of you, with the admitting your vulnerabilities card, maybe a cure that Spirit is trying to help you with, and to help you, some of you with admitting your vulnerabilities are living the fast life, or living a life of, constant go, 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 to avoid feeling vulnerable. Some of you fill your time and your energy with people that are toxic for you, and you feel that blahness after you are alone and by yourself. When I find that we're most vulnerable in two ways, in two situations: when we're in love and when we're alone. When we're in love with someone, admitting our vulnerabilities either can do nothing but either create a stronger bond, or remove a person from you that is suffering from that fear of admitting vulnerability, being frightened by you being vulnerable, and also triggering their invulnerability as well within them. So, with admitting your vulnerabilities, in regards to love, I feel like that's one way that a person can have a fear of being vulnerable. Another vulnerability is, just everyday life things, also being alone. When you're alone, you are very, very vulnerable. So for some of you, you're trying to get all this time, with this person, or with these friends, and just so you can avoid the alone. Being alone is not a negative thing. It's not a negative thing. It forces you to be vulnerable with yourself in that moment in space and time. Whether you have money fears, whether you have fears of love, whether you have fears, that you're not living your purpose, or you're never going to be able to do what you want in this life. Spirit is basically telling you in regards to make a plan card. Um, once you admit a fear, you write down how you plan to conquer that fear. That's all a part of making a plan. It's a process way of thinking, without scaring yourself, or, taking you away from your healing with admitting your vulnerabilities, okay? So, in regards to finances, how that would work with admitting your vulnerabilities, with money, you create a budget for yourself, right? You create a budget for yourself, and you try to um, make a plan to how you plan to build your money, or how you plan to save money, and follow through with that plan. From the Spirit Messages deck by John Holland, you have nature. It says, this is a time to absorb the healing properties that nature has to offer. Your mind, body, and soul need nourishment, energy, revitalization, and strength. Nature has much to offer, so take this time to connect and spend some quality time outdoors. So some of you feel blah, you feel crappy because you don't get out of your house. Make a plan to get out of your house and get into nature. Get outside. Sorry, I have a phone call coming through. Let me get off of this. Sorry about that interruption, guys. So with the nature card, like I was saying, we cannot expect to feel good if we're constantly sitting under artificial lights that pretty much drain our energy, being around certain electromagnetic fields within our house, the just all that static in the air. If you're constantly around technology and looking at technology and looking at the media or social media, if we're constantly in our house just sitting there looking at the four walls, naturally you're going to start feeling it energetically and emotionally, like, I'm in the house all the time, I never hang out with anybody. Well, Spirit's saying, get your butt out of your house. Go outside, immerse yourself outside of places outside of yourself. And for some of you specifically, nature is your sanctuary. It is your energy booster, and it just lifts you back up. So whenever you're feeling depressed or having anxiety, the first way you fight it is you get up. You get up even if you feel like, oh my goodness, I can't have my face being seen. I just can't deal with people. I can't deal with places. Go to a secluded place in nature. A quiet place just to gather your thoughts. Allow the sun to radiate its vitamin D down on you. It's life-giving, it's fiery energy, melting down that cold, icy chill within yourself that depression causes you to have, that numbness, that coldness, that pain. Immerse yourself in nature if you're feeling blah. Listen is the next one. Listen says you have to be willing to listen if you want to really understand someone. Now is not the time to be offering advice, but to be a compassionate listener. To fully and intently, to listen fully and intently means to pay attention not to just what's being said, but to what lies beneath the words. So with that, if you are feeling blah, sometimes as much as you listen to everyone else's problems, you don't have an outlet to release that everything that you've listened to from other people's woes. Some of you are literally a walking diary. You take someone's sadness, you take someone's, um, emotional baggage for them by listening to their problems, by listening to, you know, what they're saying. If you sit around a person that's negative 24/7, that's another thing too. If you are an empath or you are compassionate towards someone, you have an empathetic ear, you tend to sit there and empathize with the person so much to the point to where you literally take on mentally and emotionally or whatever of what they're experiencing at that moment. And even more so, spirit wants you to begin to filter that. I understand with listening, you have to listen to someone. That's another thing they're saying too. Some of you are feeling blah because you could be feeling the energy of the people you make feel blah whenever you don't listen to them. When you just roll through and you just keep talking and keep talking and keep talking and you don't listen to them. You know, you may have a significant other or a spouse that's telling you, you don't listen to me. You never listen to me. I don't think you love me, or, you're like, the person, you ask the person how their day was, and then you're like, okay, my day was like this. My boss yelled at me, he did this, he said that. And the person is like, okay, well, even though you asked me, how my day was, I guess we'll listen to yours first, since apparently that was what you wanted to do anyway, right? So, with that, be willing to listen first sometimes. Don't be so quick to say things first all the time. Then you have Layla here. It says, spend time alone in nature, meditating about your desires and intentions. Ask the angels to help you gain a positive perspective. So some of you just have stinking thinking is why you feel blah. It could literally be the shitty ass thoughts you think about yourself, about other people, about situations. So with that, don't sit there and think about negative things. And then it says spend time alone in nature. So this could also apply to a certain part of this group one collective here. You guys, need to go into nature so you can get into a better thought process, help you process your life better. Sometimes spirit wants you to go out in nature so that way you get so caught up and lost in the beauty of the nature that spirit begins healing you from, whatever it is that's been causing you to have that negative thinking, to have that fearful thinking, or, being angry. Nature, it's like it puts you in a place of wanting to release all your life's problems in that moment and in that time. And also, spirit wants you to begin to meditate about what you want in this lifetime, and don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to reach out to your angels, to your guides, to your ancestors as well. Don't be afraid to open up and discuss that. Visually meditating, about what your dream life will look like, and actually feel yourself experiencing that. The next thing you have is cut your cords. So this is going into the advice right here as well. It says, cut your cords. Ask Archangel Michael to clear any old attachments to fear that stem from past relationships, freeing you from destructive patterns. So some of you feel blah because you have certain toxic friendships, relationships, or situations you're in that you need to cut away from you energetically. Archangel Michael is right there protecting you, but Archangel Michael also wants you to be very mindful. Like, I keep cutting these cords. You keep asking me to cut these cords, cut these types of people out of your life, but you keep inviting them back in. So how many times do we have to cut this? How many times do I have to take this away from you? How many times do you keep putting yourself in this predicament before this time that I cut, you're actually done? Some of you don't even realize that these friendships or these relationships or whatever it is that you are deeply rooted and tied to, it's not serving you. It actually drains you. It takes away from you. I know for me, whenever I'm around energy vampires or people that I was once friends with, it gets it gets very, very difficult to be around them, and they irritate you as soon as you see their name pop up on the phone. It's like one of those things it's one of those things and one of those situations where it's time for you to leave that and go away from that. So whatever you thought of whenever I read cut your cords, and any of those situations resonate with you, it may be time to reevaluate your friendships with people, because that's part of the reason why you're feeling blah, and that's how you fix it. So with infinite self, beautiful blue butterflies, it says, my infinite self dwells in the sweetness of this very moment. So what that tells me is that some of you feel blah because you're too busy being focused either on the past, or the future. Like if you, for instance, if you made a mistake of telling, your crush you like them, or, your boyfriend of like 2 weeks that you love them. Some of you are like, oh, whoops, I shouldn't have said that. Instead of enjoying the fact that you said that, and you begin to regret it because the person is merely trying to they may feel the exact same way about you, but yet because they're waiting to take their time and they're processing the fact that you told them how you felt about them, and you're already freaking out and immediately regretting that you even said it, and maybe they were just waiting for you to say it first. So it's one of those situations. Like, don't beat yourself up for what you said in the past, no matter how recent the past is, and definitely don't fret about what's going to happen to you in the future. Like, if you make a mistake, oh my goodness, I shouldn't have said that because now this is going to happen. So some of you may be that type of person. You get so freaked out about the past that you think the past is completely affecting the future tense. Things can happen millisecond by millisecond, second by second, and minute by minute. Some things are not going to, be worth your time of stressing yourself out to the point to where you can't even dwell on the present. You can't even enjoy what's happening in the present. And some of you are experiencing negative things in the present that's making you want to think in the past, like, oh man, things were great back then. And, also with the future tense, hopefully this will improve in the future. Some of you are so focused on a negative event that's happening in the present moment that you're not even able to count the blessings that you even have in the present moment. And Spirit wants you to be more mindful of that, because that can immediately put you in a blah emotion. The next card you have is the perfection of your life. So with this, some of you are feeling blah because you keep trying to push it to make your life become perfect. Some of you feel like once you have this certain thing, or this certain person, or this certain situation happening for you, or this certain way of business, going on for you happens. Once this one thing happens, my life will be perfect. Let me tell you something. You may not get to that next thing that you're looking for, because it wasn't what Spirit had aligned for you in the first place. So what's happening is, with the perfection of your life, you're looking for, the next best thing, instead of looking at the perfect life you have now, the right now best thing that's happening in your life, okay? And this kind of filters back into infinite self here. So with some of you, your perfection of your life here, some of you have the perfect life and think that you haven't hit that pinnacle yet. Like, you hadn't hit that high note in the song quite just yet. The song of your life, it's like, oh well, no, it's not going high enough. I gotta take it to the next level. I haven't heard that high note yet. and some of you are not even seeing the high notes that you already currently have, around you. So, with this, I feel like look at your life with what you think to be the perfection. Look at the present part of your life like that as your dream life. Begin to show gratitude for the perfection you already have in your life, even if it's not perfect, even if it's not the most peaceful, way of living. Still try to see your life in the most perfect way you possibly can. Find the perfections that are in your life. The next card you have is free from judgment, free to love. Free from judgment. I'm sorry, I'm trying to adjust my seat. Free from judgment, free to love is about basically just embracing yourself for who you are in the present moment, embracing yourself for who you were as well. Because some of you hate certain aspects of yourself, you judge certain aspects of yourself to fulfill this this sort of hole, you have in your heart, you have in your mind, you have in your soul almost. And it's like you try to live up to other people's judgments and expectations, and the moment you feel like you've failed them in any way, you begin to judge yourself, you begin to hate yourself, you begin to have resentment towards yourself. And Spirit is saying, not today, not anymore. I want you to heal. I want you to go beyond this self-hatred. And there are so many ways we practice self-hatred, y'all. How about we talk about that scale in your bathroom? That scale in your bathroom you always, projects negative energy into, that you give power over you. That mirror we look in every day, to put on makeup. And and I'm not mocking, anybody that wears makeup. I wear it from time to time. So I'm not knocking anybody that likes to use, alternative beauty things. But for me, when I look in the mirror, I have to tell myself, I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful in every stage of life that I go through. And then what also helps me is sometimes I will write post-it notes next to my mirror, and I'll say each and every one until my heart feels completely filled and satisfied with my self-love, okay? And so some of you feel blah because you spent so much time beautifying your exterior or valuing yourself at face value when you're so much more than what you see within your own eyes through the mirror. That's an illusion. It's an illusion mentally and emotionally. It does not define what you look like on the outside should not define what you feel like and look like on the inside. When you practice beautifying yourself with self-love, you begin to experience this feeling of wholeness, not feeling the need to judge yourself. And in the places where you've ripped out judgment from your aura, your energy, and you fill it with love, you can begin to feel like this woman, completely blissful, surrounded by every positive thing in her life, because she doesn't look at her outside anymore as the total package. She looks at herself from deep within her heart chakra, deep within her love for herself, to define her, to validate her. Some of you feel blah because you've either received a message or you have anxiety about receiving a certain message or form of communication. Um, in the background, you have the moon here. So it's something I feel like intuitively you know is already the answer, but it's a dread for you to actually receive the answer in the physicality, okay? So I feel like during this difficult time, you're going to have a friend beside you, because here's the dog, here's your companion pet. You're basically you're basically going to be in a place of, like, I'm waiting, or, just after the stroke of midnight, you feel your phone vibrate next to you, and you're like, oh shit, what's going on? And just the news you get is so shocking. It's so shocking. It comes out of nowhere and it hits you, okay? And for some of you, whatever this event was, it made you feel so blah on the inside. It made you feel so small on the inside that you just wanted all time to stop. That you just wanted to reverse the clock and make time go back to be able to anticipate the message coming and finding a way to stop it, okay? Some of you are that deep into your own uh, emotional pain, emotional blindness you feel, this negativity you feel. For some of you, it could be news of an engagement being called off that happened, because this dress is um, kind of looks white to me, like a pink whitish color. But for some reason, I'm thinking of like a wedding, or um, being stood up before the wedding, because it doesn't look like her hair is completely finished. Like, she doesn't have the little bridal tiara or anything in it. So I feel like whoever's watching this, you could have received a letter of a relative's wedding being called off, news of an engagement, um, that of an ex, engagement of an ex. I'm also feeling and perceiving from this card as well. Um, I just feel like this is going to be um, very shocking news, okay, in regards to personal relationships. So just be mindful. Just don't anticipate and freak out about anything, okay, in regards to this. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer or antagonize anybody. Just don't. If this event has already happened, you cannot afford to focus on that and keep wishing that the time would fall back, because when you start doing that, wishing for time to fall back, you're actually going to manifest another situation like this in the future tense, because that's going to become a negative um, pattern within yourself that you're going to manifest in the physical to try and heal it, okay? So you don't want that type of karmic lesson. You want to be able to just be like, you know what, I didn't see that coming. I accept the situation as it is. I can ask spirit to, help me either remove it or help me improve it. But you cannot focus on this past event, okay? If this is something that hasn't happened yet and this is in the future tense, or this just happened, once again, with people that this just happened to, do not become the person that's been thinking of it in the past, okay? Don't start to dwell on it. Let it go, release it with love and blessings, and give it to spirit to transmute it and heal it, or to help you cut it away and heal it. um with the future tense, if this is something that's yet to happen, try not to think on it too much, because when you begin to think about it before it even happens, mind you, this is just like one of many of tens of thousands of possibilities that could happen. If you don't want this to manifest and this has not happened to you yet, you may want to rethink this whole entire situation. Rethink this whole entire situation. Imagine it as you being strong and handling this information well that's going to be coming to you, or you can wish for spirit to give you insight on how to avoid the situation from happening, okay? And a third thing, once you ask spirit for that information, for that blessing, for that help or that protection from the situation happening, you give it to spirit and you don't meditate or think about this. Don't do it. Card number 3. Card number 3 talks about getting in a place by yourself and just getting into a tranquil, balanced place, okay? I feel like some of you feel blah because I'm looking at this fish, and to me, fish means fertility. Fish to me speaks of fertility. No, there it is. I covered it up. I'm sorry. Some of you may be feeling blah because you feel like you can't conceive a baby or be bountiful or plentiful in anything that you're doing, okay? And Spirit is wanting you to hone into its energy and really just releasing any emotional baggage holding you back, because frog always represents emotional healing, um, among other things. And then you have dragonfly spirit here, basically bringing in a message to said person. But as you can see, the dragonfly is looking at her. The dragonfly is looking at her, but she's got her eyes closed. So she can't even see the messenger. She can't even see, the dragonfly. And the dragonfly is pretty much spirit to me saying, hey, I'm trying to give you this message, but you're closing your eyes to it. So then this girl also had her eyes closed. So just basically, you're not wanting to accept a certain message. You're not wanting to um, even forgive a certain message you receive, because you have the frog here. So it could be, somebody ending things with you, somebody um, starting aggravations to your emotional well-being, okay, with belligerent and hurtful messages. Some of you could be recovering from a narcissist, recovering from being in a relationship with a narcissist. That's what I'm also picking up as well. And getting to a space of being okay to feel vulnerable within love again, but also being protective and guarded as well, because although she's halfway exposed or mostly exposed, there's still parts of her that are not seen, and it's like making sure you're having that perfect balance of being vulnerable and also being guarded at the same time, cutting your cords, admitting your vulnerabilities. These cards tie in together very beautifully. um, but yeah, some of you are recovering from a friend or a family member or a situation where there was a rat. There was a rat. Somebody ratted you out. Somebody exposed your secret and basically hurt you so deeply it made you shut down. It made you shut down, made you go so deep within yourself that you have no idea how to get back out. And that's why you're feeling so blah. But you have the beautiful butterfly behind you as well. That is a, which is also a um, power animal messenger. And butterfly is transformation. So it's like your transformation is causing you to be exposed. It's causing you to be, completely open over here. completely open over here, and making sure you're protecting yourself against the rat in your life. I'm also getting some of you need to get off of the cosmic shit pot. That's what I heard, okay? And what I mean by that is thinking about all your woes, everything that is quote unquote wrong in your life, and not seeing the blessing in your life. Some of you um, are just word vomiting on people that don't deserve your chaotic energy, that don't deserve, the things that you exude and that you end up throwing at them. I also feel that spirit is also saying, get up, stop sitting, begin to move forward. If the fabric has to come off, the protection has to come off in order for me to get you to move, I'll do it. That's what I'm hearing spirit say. The last card, you have balance. Okay, so some of you, right off the bat, could be Libra. Be the Libra sun sign or moon sign, rising, Jupiter, any of that, okay? If you have Libra in your chart, pretty much, then this definitely applies to you. Some of you feel blah because you're seeking balance. You're seeking an equal balance between light and dark, an equal balance between the physical and the metaphysical. So your 3D and your spiritual. Some of you are trying to keep a balance between going between the light side of yourself and the shadow side of yourself, okay? Some of you are trying to give people this impression that you have your balance, even though on the inside you do not have it together. So that's another portion of you that I'm picking up with this. Some of you are also feeling blah because your sacral chakra is drained. Your sacral and your solar plexus chakras are drained, and it could also be your um, crown chakra because he has a purple jester crown on his head, and I feel like this could be relating to your chakras not being completely balanced, and also relating back to the fact that you need to cut cords because look at it. There are similar color schemes in these cards. So you need to cut. So for some of you, in order to fix this blahness, you need to cut cords with people that feed off of your nurturing energy, the nurturer in you, um, that feed off of being able to sexually satisfy them to fulfill their needs. You need to cut people off in your solar plexus chakra that demean you, that defame you behind your back and to your face. Um, you need to cut off ties with certain people that don't balance you. I'm even seeing green in this card, so heart chakra and throat chakra, because there's a blue dot as well. Only color I'm not seeing is red. Wait, never mind. I do see red. There are hues of red in this. So yeah, could be majority of your chakras are not in balance because you keep doing things for people. You keep being that martyr energetic, like I'm tired, but I'll continue doing it because I care about this person so much that's pretty much draining me and feeding off of me. And cut your cords is like this. It was right above in the spread. So yeah, with that, to get some, for some of you to be cured of your blindness, get out of that. Get out of those energetic relationships that are draining you, that are not giving you life, okay? And you also have, sorry, thought I was done. You also have Five of Wands, Eight of Cups, Two of Cups, Eight of Swords, Eight of Swords, the High Priestess, Six of Wands, and the Empress. So this is your ultimate result of you going through these situations. Like I said, this is just basically recapping the energy. This is recapping everything, okay? You know, I feel like the solutions with the tarot and the psychic tarot here, oracle deck right here, basically to sum all of the cards up, it sums the entire reading up. Stop fighting yourself is the first thing that's coming to me. Stop fighting yourself. Stop being afraid of who you are. Stop being afraid of showing who you are. Stop being afraid to stand up to people and fight them. Fight for your lover. Fight for your lover. Fight for your friendships. Be in perfect harmony with one another. Um, with Eight of Cups here, abandon what you need to abandon. Abandon what does not emotionally or spiritually serve you anymore. Abandon the darkness within you. Abandon going to that place. Stop revisiting it. It doesn't have anything to offer you anymore. Rehashing it and reopening it does not refill the cups, okay? So stop going to the darkness. Stop going to the darkness. Begin to walk towards your light. Begin to walk towards it. And once you walk towards your light, once you walk towards your light, this is who you become. You get out of this drab, ugly, blue-gray robe, and you become this high priestess. You become this intuitive, incredibly magical being that you wouldn't have become had you stayed by the darkness. So that's what I have for you, group one. Oh, hold on, sorry. So with this is usually the devil in traditional tarot, but this is master in the second tarot of the heart, tarot oracle. Master your heart, master your pain, master your emotions, master the fact that you, and acknowledge the fact that you have a heart and that you are allowed to reserve it for certain people, okay? Once you begin to protect and master your own self-love and your own heart, you will manifest the right person into your life. Some of you need to take your heart out of the cage. You know, you've built a firm foundation with somebody, or you're wanting to build a firm foundation. And you just need to embrace it. Embrace it. Spirit's saying you have a firm foundation to have this. That's coming together. Your soulmate. This is also the Two of Cups, too. That would be in traditional tarot. So for some of you that are concerned or fearing the start of a relationship, you will have victory. So these are two aspects of yourself that you're going to gain after you get out of feeling blah. You have the Empress. You have the High Priestess here. These are the two most strongest feminine energies. Embrace those energies. This is abundance in all areas of your life, mastering all four queens in the tarot. The Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. You embody all four of them. You are powerful in the 3D as well as the spiritual. The High Priestess values and honors her intuition, her spiritual gifts. Merge them together and you will be powerful. And that's what I have for you, Group 1. I do hope this reading was beneficial and helpful to you. And I will see you in the next video. Hello, my lovely Group 2. So Group 2, how you do? I do good. So if you guys pick this lovely deck with this beautiful symbol representing success, then this group is for you. Success. You are worthy of this success. Allow these feelings of accomplishment to fill you with contentment and self-satisfaction in your achievement. So some of you, this is your card, this is your word to give you your divine sign that you're on the right path, and that whatever it is you've recently petitioned spirit for, or your deity or your source or creator for, or your ancestors even, whatever you've petitioned them in regards to wanting success, they are telling you that you got it, baby. You got it. You have that success. Whether if it's you're trying to, start your business, if you're trying to get past it. So if I feel like the exact opposite of success is the fear of failure. Some of you are feeling blah because you're just being negative about something that is your birthright to have, that is what you deserve to have, which is success. So pay attention to any songs, any memes that has DJ Khaled saying, "Join me on the journey to success." If you see anything on Facebook, if you hear anything, success will be a word that you will, recognize, like, whoa, I'm on the right path. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing the right thing. So, Spirit also wants to let you know, lovely Group 2, ask with sincerity, raise your vibration, breathe. Sorry about the glare, guys. Trust. Your angel therapy oracle is Indigo. Angel message, Mystique. From the Soulful Woman, you have True Worth. From Sacred Rebels, you have Heaven Sent, number 33. You have Come to Life. For your advice and your situations to come, situations that could be making you feeling blah, you have Six of Pentacles. You have Seven of Pentacles. You have Seven of Cups. You have Ace of Wands. You have the beautiful Queen of Cups. You have the Five of Swords. Eight of Wands. Ace of Pentacles. Three of Cups. You have Win or Lose, which is the Five of Swords again. You have the Six of Wands, or Believe and Succeed. You have Light, which is the Sun in traditional tarot. You have Awareness, or otherwise known as the Magician in traditional tarot. And you have Throat Chakra, okay, as your advice and situations card. So ask with sincerity here. Ask with sincerity here, I feel like some of you are feeling blah because you're not asking Spirit for help. Simply put, sometimes your mind will create obstacles so that way you can heal past a certain pattern, okay? With this, I feel like group 2 that some of you don't like to ask for help. Some of you are very proud, and because of that, Spirit is basically making you be your own worst enemy, okay, in this situation. Like, because you're refusing to ask for help, because you are being prideful and don't want to ask for help, Spirit is purposefully allowing you, co-creating negative situations with you to make you get in situations where you have to ask Spirit for help. You don't ask your guides, your angels. I'm sorry, my voice sounds so angry. That's them channelings. That's somebody's specific guides, ancestors, and angels or deity coming through, fussing at them right now. Because I'm feeling the energy going through all my chakras, and I'm feeling my Kundalini energy rising. So, yeah, this is some very strong divine energy right now that's channeling through. So ask with sincerity here. Some of y'all's like spiritual team are like pissed at y'all because you don't ask for help and you have them there at your side, waiting to help you. But you don't acknowledge them. You don't want to talk to them. You've either told them that you didn't want to deal with them, and they're upset because they can see everything that's happening in the spiritual leading down to what you're physically experiencing. So with this, you're basically putting yourself in situations where you have to face it because you're not asking Spirit for help. You're not asking your deity, source, whatever aspect of your spiritual team you talk to, you're not asking them for help. You've completely turned a deaf ear to them, and they're upset. They're tired of you doing that. So they're basically co-manifesting with you negative situations to get you to acknowledge them again. So cut it out, ask with sincerity for what you need, and be open to them. Be open to the answers they give you. Because some of you, I feel like you'll ask, and when they give you an answer you don't like, you start ignoring them. You stop talking to them. You stop communicating with them because they didn't answer the prayer or the petition in the way that you wanted them to. And they feel like because of you getting mad at them for answering it in a different way, they feel like you were never really asking with sincerity. You weren't asking with sincere help. You were asking for a specific outcome, trying to spiritually bypass, and they don't like the fact that you're upset with them for answering it the way that they did. With raise your vibration, immediately I get the feeling that you are just normally in a negative frequency. You're in a negative lower vibration, okay? You were born into negative vibrations via your parents, or you downloading negative energy or emotions from your mom when she had you in her stomach and you were in her womb. I also feel that there is some serious negative energies, negative forces that are around you that are constantly pulling you down. Constantly pulling you down. Every time you think you've made a step up, they pull you 5 rings back down to where they are. So this could look like being around negative Nancys that are posing as friends. Whether it be about the negative things being said, be about themselves or about you, criticism. Sorry, can't talk tonight. with you, um, they're saying not to stress yourself out about that or get yourself involved in that situation. Um, for some of you, with raise your vibration, I feel that you just need to cut certain things that you watch, certain things that you listen to, be it music, be it certain meditative mantra music like this. Some meditative meditation music can actually secretly hide a negative light code, a negative energy code, to where the person backmasked the frequency to make it appear as if it was the positive frequency of 432, and it was actually something that caused you to have astral parasites. I actually had that happen to me once before. I listened to what I thought was the 432 hertz frequency, and it wasn't. It was something that was completely distorted, and it caused me to have astral parasites that my ancestors had to remove from out of my body. Worst experience ever. You don't want those. So, raise your vibration could mean changing what you listen to, changing what you watch, changing how you talk about yourself, how you talk about other people, changing the people you are around, and not listening to them talk about other people, or altogether stop hanging out with them because they cause drama and confusion around you or directly in your life. Okay. Also being careful with what you accept as the truth, because the truth carries a certain energy too, and a lie carries a certain energy, or an illusion carries a certain energy as well, which is, to me, is the equivalent of a lie. Okay. um, don't sit there and feed into somebody and what they're saying, okay? Because I feel like some of you will be dealing with people that will be telling lies to you to get you riled up, to get you in a negative state of mind. So you have to keep your vibration raised up and avoid certain conversations with people, and avoid certain avoid certain conversations with people, certain environments, physical environments with people. For some reason, the LGBTQ community is coming up to me. If you go into a space where it has clear hate speech and, negativity towards the LGBTQ community, do not immerse yourself in that physical environment whatsoever, because those negative energies that feel triggered by your energy, okay, will come for you. They will come for you. And a lot of times that manifests into the physical. So them physically antagonizing you and harassing you, stay away from environments that you know for a fact will not want, your energy around, will not want you around, out of your own protection, to protect yourself. So avoid certain situations where you know there's going to be drama or an issue. The next one they have is breathe. The breath is the vital bridge between your body and soul. It's the connection between the inside and outside, connecting you to the universe, spirit, and the divine source. The breath permeates your entire being with prana, which is the same life giving force that nourishes everything in the universe. Some of you are feeling blah because you're not breathing. You're not allowing spirit to fill you with the good, with the positive, with the serenity and the peace that getting fresh oxygen to your body provides. I feel like because spirit is so reminiscent of air, that I feel like whenever you take a breath, you're literally breathing in spirit. You're breathing that energy in. You're connecting with that energy every time you breathe, because spirit is flowing through you and causing you to breathe more of it in further and further until you become one with the wind. Because as you can see right here, she's actively disappearing. She's becoming one with spirit, one with the wind. Mm, 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 mm. I feel like some of you are breathing so much of spirit in, you're surrendering. You're coming into this blissful state of surrender, and um, just rest. Rest like you've never known before. Rest like you've never known before. Um, Believe that you are connected to spirit at all times. Believe that you're connected to spirit at all times. There's a message that's coming through. Your angels are, if you have lung cancer, your angels, some of you have lung cancer, and the angels are telling me that you are going to be healed of your disease. You're going to be healed of that lung cancer. For some reason, I'm seeing my grandmother who passed away of stage 4 lung cancer. And it's like her energy, it's so beautiful. It's like I can see her doing the other half of her healing work on the other side, helping people who have lung cancer be healed and be free of that. Sorry, I just got a little bit teary-eyed. That just made me so happy on the inside. Thank you, Grandma. Thank you for that beautiful demonstration and message. Thank you. Um, wow. The next card we have, that was so beautiful. The next card we have is trust. While your logical mind is dictating a supposedly clear direction, your soul's inner guidance is urging you to follow an alternative path. The logical path may be one that you consider safe and more familiar, but you could be missing out on boundless opportunities and so much more. Okay, so what I'm receiving from the trust card here, complete trust in spirit. Look at this. Wow. I literally just said breathing in spirit. Look, they're in the same position. Some of you are having anxiety or feeling blah because this involves a spouse. A spouse that's on a completely different spiritual plane than you, that's on, some of you are either widowed from your love from your divine counterpart. Some of you are either so different from each other that you're in the runner chaser phase right now. Um, so for some of you, this particular message has to do with your path to your divine counterpart, to your twin flame. Um, I'm just feeling very strongly that you guys just need to breathe in spirit and trust in spirit, and you will find yourself reconnecting back with your divine twin flame or your divine soulmate. If you guys are in a separation phase right now, it's because because of the blue here, you're learning to explore your truth, your throat chakra energy, okay? You're beginning to accept your truth at its core of who you are, okay? So that's where you are supposed to be at. And I'm feeling like because this is a woman in this card, I feel like it's a divine feminine, okay? This is the divine feminine energy. This is where you're supposed to be at right now. Breathing in more of spirit. Breathing in more of spirit. Divine masculine, you're supposed to be trusting spirit, trusting that the divine feminine is going to rise into her truth, and trusting that you're going to rise into the truth that is in your heart, and not being in the ego, not being in the 3D, getting into that awareness that your divine feminine is who you know that she is within your heart chakra that you both share. Don't allow anxiety or jealousy to come into the twin flame connection, guys. Breathe in spirit and trust in spirit and know that you two will be back together again. Wow, that was such a beautiful message. Oh my goodness. Indigo. Indigo here says the person you're inquiring about is an indigo, meaning a highly sensitive, natural born leader. With the indigo card here, I feel like some of you are feeling blah because you guys have such strong leadership abilities and such strong ideals that you will risk. You are not in the strong aspect of your indigo starseed, okay? You starseed aspect. You are in the fearful dark side of being an indigo right now. And it's like you are just depressed. You're not completely expressing what you are and who you are. You're not expressing your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts, and your truth. You're sitting in the background idly, and people are looking at you. This is your soul family right here. This is your soul family looking at you in the disguise of your friends and your family, even your pets. I'm hearing some of you. They're looking at you like, why aren't you showing who you are? We're trying to show you off, because this is a trike that has like a little, wagon connected to it. And it's like some of you know that there's this aspect of yourself there, but you're ignoring it. Okay? You're acknowledging it secretly because the moon is back here behind this indigo aspect of you. And I feel like some of you have children that are doing this. Some of you have children that are seeing, because of that indigo, that star seed within them that's already starting to activate. Some of your children are seeing energies and entities, and it's like they're so focused on it that they can't really tell you. Um, and so I guess this kind of ties into the feeling of feeling blah, is not knowing what's going on, feeling like you don't know what's going on with your child. This is spirit telling you, those of you that are experiencing a change in your kids' attitudes, it's because their spiritual gifts are awakening, because they are an indigo child. They're already taking their spiritual responsibility and leadership, and they're trying to own that. And it's like you guys aren't aware that this is even going on with them. So start tuning into your kids. If your kids start feeling blah energy, this is why, because they're seeing negative energies and negative entities, and they can't completely protect themselves from it. So if this applies to your specific situation, this is what Spirit is telling you to do. Open the gateway of communication when they start feeling blah. Ask them what's wrong, what's truly wrong. Ask them if they see things that mommy or daddy can't. Ask. So you have message from your angel, Mystique here, okay, group 2. You have keep charging ahead and don't take no for an answer. Expect miraculous solutions to appear. So I feel that with some of you, you're feeling blah because you went full speed ahead on something and somebody pretty much told you no. Or something happened that was pretty much seemed like it was a no, that it was finished, that you weren't supposed to continue with that situation or that cycle. And Spirit wants to tell you that it's false. Don't take no for an answer. Do not allow that obstacle to deter you from what it is that you're truly wanting to do, what you're truly desiring. Full speed ahead like the beautiful silver unicorn here. Not allowing yourself to be told no. Do not accept no. Do not bow down. Do not back down. Do not stand down. You stand up, you bow up, and you walk up. You don't back down. You step up. Fight for what you want, because her horn, Mystique's horn, is showing very shiny. And it's like, if you have to impale your enemy spiritually, you impale them. If you have to stab through that wall a million times before you can get to the other side, you do that. Please don't stab people. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm not telling you to stab a physical person that you don't like, okay? I'm not telling you to commit physical violence. No. So you have True Worth next here. It says, my true worth is intrinsic and shines from my inner being like a sacred jewel of love and compassion. So some of you are feeling blah because you're not embracing your true worth. You're not just being, okay? You're not just being. You keep trying to portray this diamond, this illusion. But on the inside, Spirit is like, this is what really needs to be seen. You got this, or some of you are guarding and protecting a message within yourself that you don't want to express, but because of this cage is so clear, Spirit is going to force you to give this message, okay? And it's going to be a message about true worth. It's going to be a message about self-love. There's a message inside of you to give to someone else or a group of people about loving themselves, okay? Some of you are meant to be life coaches. Some of you are meant to provide encouragement to people in difficult times. I'm seeing flowers here. So you could be a person that does flower arrangements for people that are in a serious state of distress. You could do flower essence healing, doing things with like crushing flower essences and mortar and pestles and creating oils, lotions, bath salts, different things like that with flower essences. So some of you, your true life purpose, you guys want to go into Western pre-med, and Spirit's like, no, I want you to go into herbalism instead, because that's where you're really a healer at. For some of you, you're going to end a particular cycle that's blinded you thus far, that's taken your voice away, that's taken your truth away from you, okay? So that's why you're feeling blah. You feel and know something is coming. You're not trying to acknowledge it. You're not trying to speak it. And you're going to have to give it, because Spirit's going to expose the message otherwise. Heaven Sent is your Sacred Rebels card. Some of you feel blah. I'm going to go ahead and read this one too. Come to Life is this one. Some of you have forgotten your origins in heaven. Some of you have forgotten who you truly are, and Spirit is trying to emblazon that light language, emblazon your download within you, to remember your heaven-sent gifts, your heaven-sent mission here on this earth. Some of you are being taken out of the 3D, because as you're ascending, as you're going into this light, as Spirit is engulfing you, your physical being is completely being overshadowed by the light, to where people can only see your light. They won't even see your physical appearance, okay? And with this, you have, with Heaven Sent here, you have, this energy about you that just draws people to you, because and like, even if you're feeling blah, this is the only way that people can see you. It's not their fault that they only see the beauty and the light within you, and why they immediately go to trying to honor you and trying to raise your vibration back up, because they love seeing that beautiful light. Some of you are so heaven sent. The reason why you're feeling blah is because you're surrounded by a lot of dark energy, dark entities. But because your light shines so bright, they can only get so close. They can't physically destroy you or to latch onto you unless you stay in that blah energy. So that's why Spirit is telling you to raise your vibration in your mind, because you are a divine light being, a light warrior, a luminous warrior. And the dark is going to utterly try to attach to this. But because you are so connected with Spirit, and because you are beginning to acknowledge that Spirit is there, you're going to begin to come out of that negative blah energy because of this. Because you're going to begin to remember that you are heaven sent, not earth sent. Okay? Then you have come to life. Once again, you see this phenomena of color leaving on this side, but color coming in on this side. She's painting. She's painting herself in. So for some of you that are trying to come to life doing things that aren't serving you, Spirit is basically reversing that. So every bit of false coloring you've been putting on yourself For some of you, this is a message for some of you. This is going to reverse in a second. So just prepare. This doesn't apply to every one of you. So for some of you that's been trying to paint things onto yourself that doesn't actually represent the pure light that you are, Spirit's going to take all that makeup, all that paint off of your body and off of your soul and just completely repaint you, okay? To where you stay in constant remembrance of who you are to bring yourself to life. Not bringing yourself to life with false things just to please other people, okay? So with this come to life, some of you, Spirit is filling you with so much white light that the color is beginning to return back to you. The colors are beginning to come back to you. You're beginning to see how amazing you are. You're beginning to see how awesome, your life truly is, and that you doing, just a little bit of exploring yourself every day, being around yourself every day, that you begin to pick up your color, your awareness, that liveliness about yourself again. A wellspring of knowledge comes into you now. A wellspring of knowledge comes into you now. A wellspring of knowledge comes into you now. Reversing any codes, taking away original purpose, original being. Remember the purpose I gave you. Remember it all. All right. For your scenarios and advice, like I said earlier, you have the Six of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, Ace of Wands, Queen of Cups, Five of Swords, Eight of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Three of Cups. Win or lose, Five of Swords again. Six of Wands, believe and succeed. The Sun, or light in this particular deck. Geez, group 1 had the Sun too. Then I think the collective had the Sun, if I'm not mistaken. No, it didn't have the Sun. I'll take that back. Anyways, so we also have awareness, or the Magician, and throat chakra once again. So some scenarios that are coming to mind that are making you feel blah is some of you are feeling like you're in damned if I don't, damned if I do situations. So it's like, do I give in to defeat, or do I, rise up beyond this, rise up beyond my pain and my heart that I'm feeling right now, rise up beyond, the melancholy, the sadness that I feel, or the aloneness that I feel because someone broke up with me, or because someone took, my love for granted. Okay? So don't get into a vibration of feeling like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, okay? The next thing that could be a reason why you're feeling blah is because you have a scarcity mindset. You feel like you can't succeed. And I say scarcity mindset because I'm looking at Six of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles here. And Ace of Pentacles. So for some of you, this is strictly about money, okay? You don't feel like you can succeed in a particular field that you're thinking about pursuing. Some of you feel like you cannot have the business of your dreams, um, because I see Ace of Wands here next to the Seven of Cups. So for some of you, you feel, and with Ace of Pentacles here and Queen of Cups here, I feel like it's something that you're highly passionate about. It's something that you're highly passionate about, but you have all these other lesser options as well that you think look just as good. But in reality, it's like, no, that wasn't the one we were supposed to jump for. Whoops. So for some of you, you have so many options and choices that are sitting before you that you feel like it's impossible to choose one, and goes back to that damned if I do, damned if I don't energy. And so basically they're saying, if there's something that you're passionate about in particular that makes you have this Ace of Wands energy, that you're just ready to take off, and you can envision yourself to have the success to the point to where you can taste it on your tongue, you can feel it in your lungs, you can hear it in your head like a song. I feel like you just run with what you are truly passionate about. What is it that makes your root chakra and your sacral chakra and your solar plexus chakra come out of the cave and just be like, I want to go after that like a spider monkey and Ricky Bobby. Okay. And I don't know why I said that. That was a crazy analogy, but I'm pretty sure it made some of you laugh. With Queen of Cups, you have, you know, this business idea makes you so emotionally attached and passionate. Some of you could have had something emotional happen to you to make you go into a certain business. And then you have the Ace of Pentacles as well. So this is a positive beginning monetarily for you. This is like a perfect step for you. This is where your magic comes in to serve you, where your spiritual gifts come into play. Okay? Queen of Cups also represents a psychic, empathic being who could either have water in their chart, who could either be a water sign, a sun sign, who could either be the polar opposite of a water sign. So I know Capricorn's exact opposite is Pisces, okay? And with Virgo, it's Cancer, and with Scorpio, it's Taurus. So I hope I got the other two right, but I know I got Taurus and Scorpio perfectly correct. So please write in the comments if that was correct or not. Sorry. um, but Taurus and Scorpio even though they're polar opposites, they still can feed into each other in a good and a negative way. Okay, so basically, for some of you, could be the exact opposite of a water sign. You could be an earth sign, any earth sign, okay? That's your exact opposite. So, with that, I feel like some of you are ready to take off with something that you know intuitively is the right choice for you and will give you the perfect new beginning and start that you want. But then here comes other people trying to give you a direction to go in. Oh, well, I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should go into that career field. I don't really feel like that's a place for you to go. Don't listen to any of that. You harvested your ideas and your wants into this, and you will be able to reap that balance and reward that you're looking for. Okay? So believe you can succeed at whatever this is that you're passionate about, that you're wanting to bring into your 3D reality, and not just daydream and envision it all day long, okay? And just to say, Seven of Cups is confusion and disillusionment. Having illusions that are like unrealistic goals or visions in this lifetime. So Some of you cannot succeed because your expectation, the dream outcome does not meet the effort being put into it. It's like you're giving mediocre energy into it, simply by constantly thinking about it, but not putting forth any freaking action for your dream outcome to come through. So be mindful of that. So with the light card here, some of you are ready to reach out to spirit again and break out of your shell and being open and being vulnerable. Some of you are going to start radiating who you truly are and start embracing your magic, your magical light within you. The magical light within you. Um, some of you are feeling blah because there are certain portals open in your home. They open and close periodically, and something always comes through or goes out. Um, I would do a house blessing or get a house blessing, uh, a shaman, a witch, a Buddha, whoever, or a priest or a pastor, whatever you believe in. Okay, a spiritual leader of sorts. Okay, that knows how to remove and banish portals and spirits from out of the home. If you are um, too much of a novice or feel like you're one, because you can't go into a situation banishing things from your home if you're going into it with fear. So you may need to bring a person of higher level knowledge um, than you. Yeah, have Eight of Wands here. Someone who has that direct line and link with that divine source. Um, yeah, throat chakra, the truth. Yeah, see, make sure if you're inexperienced at getting rid of something, like a portal or a spirit from out of your home, you need to get someone that's going to help you, that has a higher level of knowledge, because you can see the blue right here that's like well above his skull. So somebody of higher level energy that has that direct link with spirit, with creator, or whatever deity you believe in. I do see that once the advice and blessings, once you guys get beyond that, I do see your money increasing. I do see your dreams coming out of nothing, and by you putting in the work and making a choice, at least beginning to make a choice, make a profound choice, and stay on the course and the path, and stay straight ahead with it. No matter what, and spirit will enliven that dream and make it manifest in the physical and make it flourish. Believe that you're going to receive positive messages, that you are not damned if you do, damned if you don't, and that you have everything that it takes to win. You don't have to lay down and accept defeat. And if you do lose, it's not the end. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of, your happiness, your joy returning to you. It's not the end of anything. And that's what I have for you, Group 2. If you enjoyed that reading, like, share, subscribe to the channel. And I shall see you in the next video, beautiful dreamers. We are starting Group 3 at 2:33:59. So the key word that Spirit wants you to be aware of, beautiful Group 3, is curiosity. Curiosity says there is so much knowledge surrounding this decision you need to make. However, there are more options you have not yet considered. Slow down and the right opportunity will present itself. So some of you are feeling blah because you keep trying to look towards the future. You keep trying to, wow, I literally said this in the collective for all three groups. So group 3, yeah, you may want to go back and listen to the collective message because there's some stuff there probably. So with curiosity here, you're wanting to make a decision because the curiosity is killing the cat, okay? And you're trying to hurry up and rush and kill the cat, okay? You know, kill your curiosity so you don't kill the cat. But your curiosity needs to expand in the sense of, okay, this is a great opportunity over here, but then I see this door over here. What's over here in this door? So the more you allow your curiosity to expand, the more you allow yourself to just be open to whatever opportunities come your way, instead of holding so tightly to an outcome, you would pretty much not feel blah. So anytime you hear curiosity, that could be a sign to you from spirit saying, hey, expand your possibilities, expand your opportunities, okay? With the flip side of curiosity, you need to calm it down. Spirit is saying you need to stop worrying about when, how, what, where it's going to happen, and just be. Just accept that and know that it's going to happen for you, but you got to stop wondering when. You got to stop questioning why and where and the what. So if you hear curiosity or you see something that makes you curious, or particularly if it's a piece of art that you can't completely understand, they're telling me certain abstract art pieces, you're gonna start seeing popping up in places, in the most oddest of places. They're also telling me that you will that you will come on, guys, give me the message transmuted, translated. Um, mm. Okay. So as your curiosity, grows, the pictures will become more abstract to you. And then, like, even in certain designs, like something like this on the table, you begin to start forming different shapes, different images out of it, different symbols out of it. And you will find yourself, being in the vortex of curiosity, that spirit, the healthy one that spirit wants you to be in. So take that as it resonates. So we have make necessary sacrifices. We have bust out of your cocoon, as these are as to what could be making you feel blah. You have stand your ground. You have stand your ground. You have light. You have message from your angels. If you get nervous, focus on service. Another message from your angel, Archangel Michael and Fiona. From Soulful Woman, you have creative cocooning. From Sacred Rebels, trust yourself, 31. 20, softly, softly, the tender touch. And for advice in situations, we'll get into that in a second. Okay. So, with the things that could be causing you to feel blah, with make necessary sacrifices and bust out of your cocoon together as a scenario, I feel like that could be you making so many sacrifices, especially for your spirituality, for your financial career, and for your um, personal life. I feel like you've been having to sacrifice certain aspects of your personal life. And I feel like it's causing you to be in a place of stagnation. You've already turned into think of it this way, you've already turned into the beautiful butterfly. You're no longer in the cocoon. You're no longer supposed to be in the cocoon, but yet you keep staying there because you keep thinking you have to keep sacrificing, you know, aspects of yourself that are no longer even existent, okay? Because you already transmuted all of that. You already fixed all of that, okay? Um, Separately, I feel like some of you are feeling blah because there are sacrifices you are not making. There are things that you're not cutting away, that you're not freeing up some of your time for, that you're not giving your money, putting your money into, investing your money into. Um, I feel like for some of you, if this is in regards to a business endeavor, you're going to have to understand that there are certain things that you used to do, entertainment wise, you can no longer do, whether it be for a reputational sacrifice. And what I mean by that is if you have a negative drug habit that causes you to not be in your right mind, that causes you to not be in a place of wholeness or wellness, um, you are gonna have to sever ties with that, because say for instance, this is a very extreme example, but I'm pretty sure it's happening somewhere in this world, okay? Say a person is like, I want to be a pastor, okay? If you have a seriously heavy drug addiction, you're addicted to pain pills, you're addicted to cocaine or heroin or whatever, you know, you're trying to lead your congregation into a good place, a good spiritual place, and a healthy spiritual place. But here it is, you're so spiritually unhealthy, clogging your body with harmful chemicals to the point to where um, you're not even able to be there to protect your flock because of your gross negligence of your spiritual, by being in a negative mental state and spiritual state to do that. Um, I'm also feeling like if you're like another thing with the reputational, necessary, the necessary sacrifices because it could possibly harm or hurt your reputation. You know, if you get exposed as a pastor who has a heroin addiction, you will lose so many people and discourage so many souls from their spiritual path because you had such a negative, reputation. It made other people lose all hope in humanity or society. Okay, so um, if you're trying to pursue a path that requires you to release something that could harm your reputation or could possibly harm your financial, investments, your business, reputation, go ahead and sacrifice those things now. So that way you don't create trouble for not sacrificing that negative thing, all right? Separately, with bust out of your cocoon by itself, some of you are feeling blah because you haven't come out with something about yourself, okay? And keeping it within is literally just like killing you on the inside to say anything. I'm getting another LGBTQ vibe. Some of you are feeling blah because you cannot reveal your sexuality to those you love. You feel like they're going to um, you feel like they're going to judge you, they're going to hate you, they're not going to love you anymore. And Spirit is saying you have nothing to lose in gaining yourself, in claiming your confidence and admitting who you are on the inside, okay? Who you are sexually, okay? Sometimes you have to make necessary sacrifices to obtain your freedom to be who you truly are on the inside, baby. You have to look past and look beyond judgments from other people and stand your ground. This goes into stand your ground. Oh my gosh. So going back to the rest of the collective, that was for a select few of you in regards to your sexuality. Stand your ground. Standing your ground is an empowering, confidence building action to take from time to time. Now is the moment when you need to stand your ground. You know you can do it, and you know that by doing so, you will be the victor. You know that by doing so, you know you'll be the victor.
At first, I was
Sorry,
dry
there's an ad
making 2
coming
or
up.
3 weeknights and then heavy on the weekends, and that's changed in the past.
Okay, so with stand your ground, it says now is the moment when you need to stand your ground. You know you can do it, and you know that by doing so, you will be the victor. So when you're standing your ground, some of you got to fight for your right to exist. It may cost you some friendships, it may cost you some family relationships, it may cost you every bit of, your life to just stand your ground. That's part of your life purpose here. Um, and part of why you feel so blah, because you need to stand your ground. The more you stand your ground, the more you grow and the more you sprout. Because it's like you came into this lifetime with the energy of I'll be submissive, I'll be, in the slave archetype, divine archetype. And Spirit is saying it's time for you to disconnect from that soul contract. It's time for you to go beyond that. Um, it's time to stand up and not falter. Some of you need to connect with your trees, some of the physical trees in your local community, and really just open up the doorway to the trees to come in, and you being at one with them, giving you that strength and will to stand your ground. You have light. Imagine yourself as a being composed of energy and light, because in reality, that's precisely what you are. You are a powerful being, and people are attracted to your brilliance. This is a time to remember how vibrant you truly are. So I'm seeing a lot of nature references. May also be a connection. The more you go outside, the more power you feel within yourself, the more you bust out of your cocoon, and the more nature transmute and transforms you energetically, raising your vibration with this light. Some of you feel blah because you need to remember the light that exists within you. Remembering how vibrant you are on the inside. Remembering that you don't have to stay in a dark space in your mind because of things that have happened to you in this life. Embracing your light again, rising again, soaring beyond the abuse, beyond the pain, beyond the frustration. the fear, the mundane. The more you ascend emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, the more your light exudes and shines from your body. The next card we have is if you get nervous, focus on service. Put your entire intention on answering the question, how can I make the world a better place? And the law of attraction will automatically take care of your needs. So for some of you, you feel blah because you have not been giving enough to your fellow brethren and sisters, to your fellow beings here on earth. Okay? You have taken so much that you're too full to receive any fresh or new blessings and new cycles of blessings because you're not being open with what you've been given. You're hoarding it and you're therefore clogging yourself energetically, emotionally, and spiritually. Um, and some of that energy is even coming down into your finances, okay? So be mindful of how much you take and also giving back um, out of what you've received, okay? Don't be afraid to share the light. Don't be afraid to share, with your fellow family, your fellow soul tribe, your fellow humankinders out here, what you've learned in life. Some of this may be imparting wisdom to people in a certain way, whether it be social media, whether it be a book. For some of you, I'm getting a book. For some of you, it's sharing a testimony in a large audience, so you could be a motivational speaker of sorts. So these are ways you could serve and give back to your fellow humankinders here. So with Archangel Michael here, it says, I am with you, giving you the courage to make life changes that will help you work on your divine life purpose. So with this, I feel like this is saying, Michael is reminding you, just giving you a reminder that even whenever you're feeling blah, know that I'm still working on my end to make things trickle down to you in a 3D, to make sure that you are still receiving what you need, having the abundance that you need, and I'm giving you that space and that time and that courage to grow spiritually, to take that leap of faith, to not feel like that you cannot live your divine life purpose. If you know what that is, do not worry if you feel like it won't make you money, because I feel like him holding this bouquet right here is just the amount of abundance. Sorry. It's the amount of abundance he's holding for you. Um, the next one you have is Fiona. It says, now that you've asked the angels for help, be open to receiving divine guidance and assistance. You deserve heaven's help. So some of you are feeling blah because you've asked for help, but some of you feel like it won't come. That's why you feel blah. You've lost all hope in whatever you've prayed for to come forward, for whatever you've wished for to happen for you. And Spirit is like, no, you deserve my help. You deserve what heaven has to offer you, has to help you with. Just accept it. Just accept it that we're giving you the guidance we're giving you and to go with it. Okay? You have creative cocooning. need to take a drink of water here, guys. With creative cocooning here, it says creative cocooning is a freedom I give myself. I create a safe nest for peace, healing, and calm. So, for some of you, specifically a self care thing that will activate the answers you're seeking is that you need to start doing art, getting involved in drawing, painting, sculpting, pottery, whatever, as singing, writing, acting, whatever aspects of art of the arts you enjoy performing in, or you enjoy partaking in. Expand that, focus that energy into that. Okay. um What's wrong, Kitty? I'm sorry, my dog just jumped up all of a sudden, like she's got jumped out of her sleep, like she's woke up. You okay? Sorry about that, guys. um yeah, feel that freedom, feel it. The next card you have is trust yourself. Sorry, I had to get a little bit of sage going because my dog just jumped up and now she's like she's trying to guard me or whatever. But anyways, not gonna stop the reading because of you. Trust yourself. And trust yourself, it is best to know that you are at one with the universe and at one with everything within the universe and at one with everything on this earth, okay? And that no matter what you choose, if you trust yourself, if you believe in yourself, everything connected in this universe to you with that you trust yourself vibe will be drawn to you, will make things manifest and happen for you. Um, for some of you, you could be shamans, and you could be, in the beginning stages of it, and you may not completely trust everything that you believe and know and that you see comes to you, okay? You have a jaguar in this card, which is on the west side of, the western direction, um, when it comes to releasing toxic relationships. Jaguar is also of the water element. So, very feminine energy, very agile energy that comes through to help you cleanse emotionally. You may have some women who have the emotional characteristics of the Jaguar archetype on the shamanic medicine wheel. Um, you may live in the West, on the West Coast, where there's water lining the border. I'm also picking up. And I feel that some of you want to move to a place with that description. Spirit is saying if that is a desire you have, if you feel that within you, Spirit is saying that I put that there. Trust yourself and move beyond. For some of you, I'm getting like a northwest vibe because the way her eyes are going and the way the birds are going in this direction. I feel like some of you want to move in the northwestern part of whatever country you're in, okay? Um, you have the northwest, in the northwestern part of the United States. I'm thinking of Washington. Um, like Washington, living on the border of Washington State, okay? Um, if you feel like you're called out there, go as close to that area as you could possibly get, okay? There's going to be some spiritual awakening that's going to be happening within you, okay? So be mindful of that. The next thing they want you to do, Softly, softly, the tender touch. So there's a fresh new knowledge that you've gained about a thing, okay? And what they're wanting you to do with this softly, softly, the tender touch card, okay? What they're wanting you to do is basically just gently breeze the truth onto people, because sometimes with the tears sitting here with the softly, softly, the tender touch, you can have a tendency to tell the truth in such a crude way that it can hurt people's feelings. And spirit is bringing certain situations of that to for you to learn, for you to experience that, um, for you to experience that same type of sadness you've caused in other people, okay? And you've either already experienced that or you fear experiencing that. So to heal that possibility of these situations coming forward, whatever situation or situations you're thinking about that may have resulted in being sour because of your negative words or behavior, they're saying go ahead and apologize so that person doesn't come back around, or that energy, that negative pattern comes back around to hurt you, so you can experience that karma. That would help you in mitigating the blow from whatever this is that's going to come back as karma to you for what you've done to somebody else, okay? Um, you also have, I'm getting here that some of you are very sensitive. The slightest word can hurt your feelings. The slightest negative thing said about you can hurt your feelings, okay? That means you have some healing within your solar plexus to do, and also in your sacral chakra and in your heart chakra. And for some of you, I'm also getting the crown and third eye as well. So some of you could be misaligned from the sacral chakra up to the crown chakra. And it could be causing you to feel that energy, be causing you to feel super fragile and super sensitive. For others of you, you're willing to be the martyr. You have this like martyr. I'm feeling this type of martyr type energy coming from the cards. But you sacrifice your own happiness, your own mental sanity for other people all the time. And instead of hurting their feelings, you hurt your own feelings. You antagonize and attack yourself. And so you essentially create this cloud around you that's not completely just, good. And some of you are having a battle within your mind, about either a specific area of your life or a completely separate area of your life. I'll get more into that whenever we get into the advice and scenarios cards, okay? Um, but you're essentially getting into, with the softly, tender touch, you're having a battle of the good and the negative in your mind, and it seems like the negative has consumed most of you, but there's still hope for you, okay? Don't feel like you've been so hard on yourself. That's part of the reason why you feel so crappy like this. You haven't been completely opening yourself up to the knowledge of spirit, okay? So you need to be more gentle with yourself. Some of you are too volatile with yourself. Sometimes you guys can be really judgmental with yourself, and not that's another part of not trusting yourself, okay? Not trusting yourself and not standing your ground because you trust yourself, okay? Um, Heal that. Work on that. Go back to situations that made you feel like you weren't powerful, okay? That made you feel like you were, had to be volatile to yourself, okay? For some of you, this involves romantic relationships and commitments, because I'm seeing a bit of a ring right here, like an engagement ring. I want you to know that, just because you went through that situation does not mean that you're unlovable and that you're not wanted, okay? Do not feed into that negative fear-based thinking right here. Do not begin to think of yourself as not good enough. There's still time to turn that negative around and to attract that wholesome relationship that you want, okay? That's what I'm getting with that card. So now on to scenarios and advice. You have Ten of Pentacles. You have the Queen of Pentacles. You have Four of Cups. You have the Sun. You have the Wheel. You have Two of Pentacles. You have Judgment. You have Darkest Fears, which is Nine of Swords. You have Clarity of Belief, or Ace of Swords. You have Two of Pentacles, or the two, um, yeah. You have, this is Two of Pentacles in traditional tarot, okay? You have movement, choices, and decisions, okay? You have the Seven of Wands, stand your ground. And you have the Ace of Cups, love begins. So for scenarios that I'm getting, for some of you, this involves money because you have Two of Pentacles, you have Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles again in the Psychic Tarot deck. Yeah, the Psychic Tarot deck. Um, some of you are feeling blah because you recently had to shell out a lot of money for a divorce. And the divorce puts you in a state of mind like, I can't repair my money. My credit score got shot. I got left with all these bills, with all this financial stress. And my spouse, how could he do that to me? Why did you do that to me? Oh my goodness. Why didn't I see this coming? That's the energy I'm getting from some of you. Some of the scenarios I'm picking up on. Somebody had a divorce, was stiffed with all the bills, with all the stress of being a single parent, anything and everything. Because Queen of Pentacles usually represents a very mature woman who, by the skin of her teeth, in this situation, in this energy, in this instance, you work very hard even though it's emotionally unfulfilling work. For some of you, I'm getting some of you are single mothers that you're in emotionally unfulfilling work. You're in situations where you want a different karmic cycle. You want to express your true joy. You want to express and do what you love and make money. You want to do what you love to make money and leave a legacy for your family with the Ten of Pentacles over here. But the problem is, this person from your past has put you in a position where you're feeling like you're having to be super, you know 3D and material, and have all this money at the expense of your emotional happiness and serenity, okay? I feel like some of you with the children here, some of you are single mothers, were put in situations where you were single mothers and you had to make necessary sacrifices as a single mother for your beautiful children right here, okay? You had to sacrifice time, you had to sacrifice years, and it killed you on the inside. It hurt you so much on the inside. You had to sacrifice so much, you know, and that's why you feel blah. Some of you guilt trip yourselves because you had to work in a space of emotional unfulfillment just to provide for your children, just to miss out on time for your children. Because the wheel also represents time as well. The wheel of fortune also represents time, because of the sphinx I'm looking at right here, and you have the snake, and the Mayan calendar here. Um, with the wheel here, you have, you know, I'm thinking of the pentacles, and I'm seeing the similar circle. You have a circular rose right here, the sun. You have the two of pentacles here, circular. There are so many circles. So I'm seeing a pattern. This is a cycle. This is a circular pattern that you keep going into. Um, you keep continuing the cycle, you know, for the sake of your children. And Spirit is saying, get out of that energy. Get out of sacrificing time with your kids, um, sacrificing what your kids truly need, you know, all to be this way, you know, all to be this way, all to be this way. Um, for some of you, I see you coming out of the cycle and truly, finding the joy, finding your joy and pursuing it with everything you have. And it's something, doing something that you love, that you've almost mastered or you have completely mastered, and you can like go in infinite cycles with it, baby. You have no type of limitations with it. It's something that you're really good with, or that you're getting really good with this judgment card here. This is something from the past, or either a past life that you resonate with. um, and I feel like this is like spirit, and you know, your the rest of your spiritual team being like, yes, we blew the trumpet and you answered the call. We're proud of you. We're rewarding you. You know, we're taking you out of this energy, this Four of Cups energy, and we're putting you in the sun, in new positive cycles now. You've transformed. You've shedded your skin like the serpent, and you're in a place now where you're ready to receive what we've been blowing into your life with this trumpet. Um, with this trumpet blow, I feel like some of you, your angels are personally going to take you out of your blow, okay? Some of you are feeding into fears that are starting to physically manifest themselves. And the angels are blowing the trumpet, blowing this alarm sound, the stop sound, around you, to get these energies away from you, to get these situations away from you before they try to have a chance to burst forward, okay? Um, someone's guardian angel is coming through. They want to tell you their name is Jukio. It sounds like Jukio. Jukio, Jakio. Um, just look those names up and spell them the best you can. Um, but that's what I'm hearing. Okay, so with clarity of belief here, okay. With clarity of belief here, Ace of Swords energy. Some of you feel blah because there's a truth you need to tell that may start a challenging beginning between you and a person, or between you and a choice, in any area of your life, okay? Yeah, I feel like you're going to be trying to figure out how to tell this truth to your choices, okay? If this is like a romantic thing, like you have a choice between 5 different people, they're saying you're going to end up going with your heart because you have this green butterfly, this green energy coming out, and the butterfly actually forms a heart as it's flying. Here, I'm going to show it to you. There's a heart right there, so this is love, and the butterfly is green. So, for some of you, it could feed into making a choice about love and you going with your heart versus the material aspect of the other partner that you were thinking about choosing, okay? You're going to end up going with your heart. And your heart is not going to lead you in the wrong place. It's actually going to bring you to a place of more abundance, being with a person that you actually love, not only romantically, but spiritually and also financially. Because the more love you have between you and your partner, the more you guys are creating a stronger financial vibration because you're expressing gratitude in each other's love. Um, Bam. So the next card we have here is Stand Your Ground. That's the second time you've gotten that. Stand your ground. Stand your ground. Stand your ground. Like, stop allowing yourself to be in a victim energy. Stop being blah. If you want to stop being blah, stand your ground. Stand up for yourself. Stop letting people make decisions for you. Stop letting people make decisions about your love life, that new relationship you want to start just because that person is different from you, be it through race, be it through because of um, they're the same sex as you, they're the opposite sex from you, that they're transgender, like whatever it is. Do not allow somebody to stop you from having the love you desire because they don't approve of it or agree with it, okay? It could be that the significant other could be a different spirituality than you, um, and the family of said person doesn't agree with your spirituality, okay? So do not let them stand your ground. Do not allow them to make you feel shitty about who you are spiritually, who you are physically, who you are sexually. Don't allow them to criticize you. Stand your ground. So that way your love with this new person can survive. So that way your love, you know, for life can survive. So that way your freedom and your self-love can grow. Okay? So stand your ground. Some of you are going to have to stand up to an awful boss. Some of you are going to have to stand up, and force them to raise their standard. Some of you are going to be standing up to a boss at work that's going to um, that's been making you feel shitty on the inside about your work ethic, and you're going to stand your ground and you're going to grow from that situation. I don't get that you will be fired for standing up to this person, but I think that even if you do get fired, there's still something abundant behind you, because the acorn, to me, I think of squirrels storing a whole bunch of nuts, acorn nuts in the trees for the winter. And you have spirit has something stored behind you. You can't see it. So, once you stand your ground, if let's say you get fired by the person, whatever, guess what? Spirit's like, bam, I've been hiding this, I've been waiting for this special occasion right here. Here you go. Excuse me. So make sure that you are getting clear about really and truly what it is you want, what direction you want to go. And once you make this decision, know that it is the right decision. And you're going to be able to leave a positive legacy, not just within your family lineage, but within the world as well. That if you're a mom, you know, begin to look for other options. Spirit says you do not have to sacrifice time with your family. You don't have to sacrifice any of that. Yeah. You can work on your home and your work life. Like, they don't want you to feel like you have to overdo it. They're working hard for you just as much as, you're working hard for your kids and your family. But that completes your reading, group 3. If that any of that resonated with you and you enjoyed it and you liked it, like the video, share it, subscribe to the channel. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.